In the heart of the city, where neon lights flickered like nervous whispers and the clatter of dishes mixed with low jazz, there was a corner table in Valentino's restaurant that no one ever wanted to serve. It wasn't because of its location, nor the lighting, nor even the tips. It was because of the man who sat there every Friday night at exactly 9 p.m. sharp. His name was known in murmurs, never spoken too loudly, Victor Draven. The kind of man who didn't need to raise his voice to silence a room. The kind whose presence bent the air around him. Staff called him the boss. Not to his face. Never to his face. Waiters would suddenly remember urgent kitchen duties. Glasses would need polishing. Phones would ring that no one heard. Managers would pretend to handle inventory. Anyone, just so they wouldn't have to walk to that table and endure the humiliation that always followed. Because Victor Draven did not just order food. He ordered people around. He criticized accents, mocked posture, complained about temperature, lighting, breathing. He once sent back a steak 4 times just to watch the waiter tremble. He didn't tip. He didn't smile. He enjoyed dominance the way others enjoyed dessert. That Friday, the tension felt thicker than usual. Rain streaked against the windows like the sky itself didn't want to look inside. At 8:59 p.m., the door opened. Silence rolled through the restaurant like a wave. Black coat. Slow steps. Cold eyes scanning the room. Victor Draven had arrived. The regular staff exchanged glances. "You do it." "No, you do it." "I did it last week." But before their silent negotiation could end, something unexpected happened. A new voice broke the tension. "Which table is his?" It was soft, but steady. They turned. She stood there in a freshly pressed uniform, hair tied neatly back, eyes calm, not ignorant, not naive, just unafraid. Her name was Elena. First week on the job. She had heard the whispers. She had seen the fear. But she had also seen something else, grown adults surrendering their dignity before a man simply because he expected them to. "Table 12, someone muttered, almost pitying her. "He'll eat you alive." Elena picked up the menu and walked. Each step toward the corner table felt like stepping into a test. Victor didn't look at her immediately. He was swirling his drink, watching the amber liquid catch the light. She stopped at a respectful distance. "Good evening, sir," she said clearly. Not overly cheerful. Not submissive. Just professional. He finally looked up. His eyes measured people like prices. "You're new," he said flatly. "Yes," she replied. "Welcome to your worst mistake." The other waiters watched from behind the bar, bracing for impact. But Elena didn't flinch. "I'm sorry you feel that way. I'll do my best to change your mind." That was the first crack. Not in her voice, but in the pattern he was used to. Victor raised an eyebrow. "Sparkling water. Imported. If it's not cold enough, I won't ask twice." "Understood." She walked away without rushing. The kitchen staff stared at her as she poured the water, hands steady. "He's going to tear you apart," the chef whispered. Elena only smiled faintly. "People only tear you apart when you hand them the pieces." She returned. Set the glass down gently. "Would you like to hear the specials?" she asked. He stared at the glass, searching for imperfection. Found none. Took a sip. Cold. Exactly as requested. "You think confidence will save you?" he asked. "Confidence," she replied. "No. Respect. For both of us." Another unfamiliar response. Most people either apologized excessively or snapped defensively. She did neither. Victor leaned back. "Do you know who I am?" The restaurant practically held its breath. "You're my guest," Elena answered calmly. And here, every guest is treated with dignity. It wasn't sarcasm. It wasn't fear. It was fact. Something flickered behind his eyes, annoyance? Curiosity? He ordered the most complicated dish on the menu. Modified. Extra demands. Specific plating. He was building a battlefield. But Elena executed every detail flawlessly. When he complained the lighting was too bright, she adjusted the blinds. When he criticized the music, she politely explained the restaurant's ambience policy without backing down. She never argued. She never shrank. She simply held her ground like a lighthouse in a storm. Then it happened. "This is overcooked," he said sharply after cutting into his steak. The kitchen knew it wasn't. Perfect medium rare. The manager started walking over nervously, but Elena subtly signaled him to stop. She stepped closer. "I'm sorry it's not to your preference," she said. "Would you like me to replace it?" Victor looked at her intensely. "Do you admit it's wrong?" It was a trap. If she said yes, she lied. If she said no, she defied him. She met his gaze evenly. "I admit your experience matters. And if it doesn't meet your expectation, we can improve it." Silence. The power struggle hung in the air.